Hello everybody and welcome to this tutorial. Today I will do as I've promised in the previous one. We will do a bit of scripting and we will see how that works to our advantage. Now a client might try to hide, so you do need to keep, if you wish to perform some sort of a long-term wireless denial of service attack, you will want to be vigilant. You will need to monitor the status of the network. You will need to see when the MAC addresses are changed, when the ESSIDs are changed, when channels are changed, and so on and so forth. Now these things, well, you can do them manually, you can do them with scripts. The choice is entirely yours. I can't go into full bash scripting here because that would be a tutorial for it. That would be a course for itself. But I will show you some of the basics and what you can do with bash scripts. I mean, it's a very powerful, they're very powerful. You can do a lot with them. You can automate most of your tasks. And on top of that, we need to see how we can de-authenticate particular clients on the network. So I didn't change anything, so I'm still in monitor mode if I'm not mistaken. I'm just going to go ahead from the previous tutorial, that is. I'm just going to go ahead and type in arrow dump dash ng VLP2S0, and when I press this, okay, I have my network here, so I'm just going to go ahead and take its MAC address, and I want to do a more precise scan. So here's what I'll do. I'll do airdump -ng, and then I'll dash BSSID, which will be the MAC address of this access point. And I can also specify a channel with dash channel, but I don't really want to do that. I just want to scan it for this MAC address and see. That way I'll know if the channel changes. The scan is now in progress. I am at some point of time, I'm sure I'll get a client here or something of a kind. Let me just de-authenticate it and authenticate it on my cell phone. I'm just going to turn wireless on and off, and then I should get the signal. Because there's no activity, if I was browsing the net on my phone or something like that, it would show up immediately, but I am not doing anything. And there we go. Simple authentication will show a transition of packets between between the BSSID of 90F6 52C1BB18, and station is basically a device which is connected to that particular access point. Now I will go ahead and stop this here. And before I continue, you can see in the upper left corner it says channel 6. And you have seen that these channels change. I mean, it's been going from 1 to 14 if I'm not mistaken. And when these channels here change, your wireless network card is put into functions in accordance with these channels and functions on these frequencies. So that might disrupt it, and you might need to, for a DOS attack, you might need to manually reconfigure your wireless network card. As I've showed you before, just use iwconfig and set it to whatever channel you want. Anyway, client, as I said, can change the MAC address, can change the SSID, can change even the encryption method, and can change the channel. So how can you know for sure if somebody changes all three of these? If somebody changes the channel, the MAC address, and the ESSID, how can you figure out what access point are you going to continue DOSing? Because you might have like 100 of them or something of a kind that you captured with this arrow-dump-ng packet. How will you figure it out? Well, simple. Same clients. These are clients. Will be authenticated with the same networks. So even if the BSSID changes, even if the ESSID, the name changes, so even if I don't know if I could change it here, something 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or whatever, all of these parameters change, the clients which are authenticated to that access point will not change. So I suppose theoretically somebody could go ahead and change the MAC addresses of every single device connected to that access point. But think of the following scenario: you're a company or you're a coffee shop or something like that. You cannot go around changing everybody's MAC addresses on everybody's devices. No way. So just the first time around, see which clients are authenticated to a particular access point, and then do a general arrow-dump-ng like this. So arrow dump dash ng VLP, do a general sweep like this, and then you will see, there we go, you will see the authenticated clients down below. This is for B0, what is somebody else, I suppose. You will be able to see down below who are the clients that are authenticated to that particular network, and in such a way you will figure it out. You will figure out the new MAC address and the new channel, the new ESSID, and the DOS attack will be able to proceed. So as I said before, there really is no stopping it, there is only hiding from it. Just go ahead and clear, and I have made a very nice bash script here which I want to show you. Well, it's not very nice, but it does the job. So this signifies it's a bash script. This is a loop. This is an infinite loop. It will perform until I actually put it to sleep, until I cancel it manually as a user. So let's just go briefly over it. It says airplay -0 space 5. So I want to send 5 deauthentication signals packets, and then -I to this MAC address from this interface. Next up, when those 5 deauthentication packets have been sent, I want you to bring the interface down. So go ahead and bring the interface down. Use MAC changer, change the MAC address of the interface to random. So randomly change the MAC addresses of my wireless interface. Just print out the new MAC so I know that that something is happening. And then after that, oops, let me just put a space. There we go. So you can see it better. And then I want you to reconfigure the mode of the wireless interface to monitor again. Bring it back up. Tell me that the mode is monitor when you grep it. So in order to confirm it, go ahead and sleep for 3 seconds. And while you're sleeping, echo waiting. I don't know. I just wrote this down for some strange reason. Anyway, what you can modify here is following. You can modify the sleep timer, so you can go to sleep for relatively larger or shorter periods of time depending on how you wish to perform this DOS attack. You can also say something like, over here you can read values from a file where you have a list of access points which you wish to jam at particular time intervals. Now that's a bit more of a complex bash scripting method. So if you're interested, feel free to pose it in the question sections, but you do need to have a certain knowledge of bash in order to be able to do that. In any case, there are some of the things that I would like you to try and play around with. If you succeed, good. If not, feel free to post it in the question sections. I will be more than happy to help you out. Anyway, so as I said, you can have a list of MAC addresses here that is loaded from, I don't know, from some file that you've previously created, and you can jam particular wireless access points in certain time intervals. When you do that, you will also need a command down below in order to change to the appropriate channel, because you will also need to know the channels of those access points. So ivconfig VLP to S0 channel, and then you will need to specify a channel name here, so 7 or I don't know, 3 or 1 or something like that. P2S0. Excellent. So not a bad idea. You can increase the effectiveness of your wireless jamming. You can effectively basically jam your entire neighborhood, which I definitely do not recommend, as that is illegal. But people have been known to do it. I mean, somebody somewhere figures out how to do it and is genius enough to actually attempt it. There's literally no gain in it. It just annoying the neighbors, I suppose, something like that. But anyway, you can, as I said, you can change the time intervals. That's not a bad idea at all. You can feel free to play around with this as much as you want with this part here in the loop. And if you come up with any new ideas or something of a kind, feel free to post them in the discussion section. In the discussions, I will be more than happy to take a look at it and see what you have done on your own, because that is really one of the best ways you can learn something. Anyway, let's just go ahead and apply the script and see what happens. no, I do not wish to save any changes. Anyway, before you can run a script, you of course need to do chmod. I have done this previously, but let me just show you. +X, so to make it executable, jam-.sh, and then I'm just going to type in jam-sh, and see I am again on the wrong channel. Waiting for beacon from on channel 7. VLP is on channel 7, but access point uses channel 6. Excellent. So this actually even tells you on what channel is the wireless access points. Fantastic. So IV config VLP to S0 channel. Let me just quickly change this. 6. Excellent. And now we can begin the jamming process. Excellent. So you see here it sends 5 the authentication attempts, the one that I've selected, and then it changes the MAC address to something, I don't know, unknown, and then it brings monitor mode back up again. It says waiting. When it says waiting, it's sleeping for 3 seconds or something of a kind, whatever you write down. And you see the process is just going to repeat itself on end pretty much until you shut the computer down or until you terminate the process by killing the PID or just pressing Control C. Not a bad way to deauthenticate at all, but there is another thing that you can do. So you see here, let me just see AirPlay. Nope, I don't want AeroDump. Excellent. So AeroDump, and you can use AeroDump in combination with AirMon, but there is a trick to it. You have to manually configure the channel for AeroDump-ng so it doesn't change the channel. If it changes the channel, your deauthentication attempts will not go through. So channel, and let's just tell it 6. Press enter. Excellent. Now it's permanently scanning on channel 6, and you are able to monitor any and all changes that take place here. So for example, if there are some changes that take place, you notice them, you can implement them elsewhere. And by that I mean, if you simply lose this wireless, if you no longer see it, perhaps the channel has been changed or the BSSID has been changed, you can, oh, great, I even got the handshake here. Amazing. Oh man, without hitting, well, I suppose it's because, oh no, wait, I'm actually not even performing the authentication, I just got the handshake. It doesn't matter. Anyway, if you lose it, cancel it and do a general sweep without the BSSID specified and without the channel specified. But you can also try just with the BSSID specified and with the channel not specified, because somebody could have just changed the channel and BSSID could have remained the same. One of the methods that you can apply, and yep, I'm gonna use this in conjunction. I'm gonna use the jam.sh, which starts up AI replay in conjunction with basically AeroDump. So I can monitor the status and what is going on here. In addition to that, I can actually jam the signal as well. And even though it says that this station is actually authenticated with it, believe me, on my Android phone or whatever this is, I would not be able to browse the internet. There is no way. I would be continuously deauthenticated. It would be impossible for me to even open up a basic website. That would be beyond the abilities of the device. As I said before, you can actually use your own phones, you can use your own tablets or whatever other devices in order to confirm this. But you can see that these tools can actually work one with parallel to each other. No problems, as long as they are all as long as you cannot tell your wireless card to function on several channels at once. At least I don't know how to do that. Maybe you can somewhere on the net. It's they definitely can be at the same time. They can be modulated, but you cannot have them running at the same time. So you do need to adjust the parameters a little bit, and then you can use several of these tools at once. You can monitor the status, you can jam it. Here you can even get a VLP2 handshake or something like that, and it says here interface is down because I have brought it down. Anyway, I thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next tutorial. Until then, I bid you farewell, and I urge you to try to do things on your own as much as you can, as that is absolutely the best way to learn. Okay, so let me just do a quick show. Here you can actually clear and nano jam. Excellent. So instead of actually doing a general deauthentication here, you are also able to do this. So space dash C for client, and I'm just going to stop this for now. I'm going to take this client, so just take the MAC address of the client where it says C pasted, Control O to save, Control X to exit, and now I wish to run jam. Excellent. It says sending 64 direct deauthentication, acknowledgement, blah blah blah, whatever. This is all verbose output from the program. That's all that it is, and it says which client in specific is it actually de-authenticating. That can be a pretty big problem. As you see, I'm gonna do erodemp-ng channel 6. Okay, it says interface VLP is down. Okay, so sometimes it's not gonna actually work out, as I said before, primarily because I'm bringing the interface down, but the scanning is actually in progress. And even though this station might show here as actually connected or something of a kind, try browsing the net. As I said before, try doing anything with it on the internet. You won't be able literally to move because nothing will be able to pass through. That's going to be a pretty big problem. As I said before, you can confirm this with any of your devices. You won't be able to do anything with them. I just wanted to show you how you can actually jam a particular client. You can also set the rotations here to, I don't know, jam a particular client for a while and then jam a different one for a while. Again, you can have a list of clients here and load them up from a file so they can modulate. You're jamming this client for 5 minutes, for the next 5 minutes the next one, and so on and so forth, in such a way creating a bit of a chaotic situation. Anyway, I strongly urge you to try. You don't necessarily need to practice, but just to try to do something on your own. Try to alter the code. Try to jam something, of course, that you have a permission to jam, and try to do it in a bit of a different way. Apply some other arguments. Play around with things. There really isn't much that you can break here, especially if you're doing it on your own wireless that you have a permission to do it on. And that is really the best possible way to learn. But in any case, I'm going to bid you farewell now, and I hope to see you in the next tutorial.